Today we will see the basics of Ruby. So what is Ruby? Ruby is a scripting object-oriented server-side language that is used to make beautiful websites. So it's a framework of called HTTP protocol. So now we will just in this section of the video series, we'll just see the order the data types and some programs. So this is basically a beginner for beginners. Now the data types. So data types are one is integer, then float, then boolean, then object. No, object. Yes. Then we have these are the basics. So we have many an integer and a float are primitive, and boolean and object are object oriented. So the other you can say data types are array, then string, then yeah, that's that's basically the main types. So now we will see first how to use the array. So first I will now open my Windows PowerShell. In that PowerShell first I will go to the directory where all the files are saved. So see in D Ruby all the files are saved. So now Ruby files are end with RB extension. So how to identify that a file is a Ruby file? So Ruby files always have an extension of RB. And to run Ruby files, we go to the directory that I have gone. After that, I will type Ruby and then file name, and then dot extension dot RB. So that file will produce the output. So now the first data type we will study is the array. There are four ways of creating an array. There to create an array. So the first way is just type array dot new. So it will create a blank array and new will call the constructor. Constructor is called by using the new keyword. So the constructor is called by using the new keyword. So that was the first one. So after that, yeah, this was array dot new. Then array dot new with initial values. So this will create three elements with the same value, that is Gaurav. So the next one is array, sorry, arr is equal to 1 using square brackets. So these are the three ways. First is the empty array, then the array with values, and one more is array dot uh, new, and in that there is the length. So now length maybe 20, 30, 40. So we saw four ways of creating an array. So now how we will just see the practical demonstration. You can see arrays, it has two properties, size and length. Size is the currently how many elements are there, and length is the total number of elements, which includes blank elements. So now we will see how we will run this program. Ruby makes one. Ruby arr dot rb. You can see here name and size are 20. So that was about and the print used footage. So I got this footage. So this variables in Ruby have some restrictions that they can start only with underscores, and the, or they can only start with underscores and or alphabets, and they can't have in the name they can have only alphanumeric characters. So I, name is valid. Dollar name is not valid. Then name is not valid. Then exclamation. Then suppose one name is not valid, but name one is valid. So the first character can be only underscore or a alphabet, but the remaining characters can be used. But as you can see, the reserved operators can't be used. That was our first array program. So now I will just change this 20, 30 to 20, 20 to 30, and I will again run this. So it will give me 30. Let me clear the console. So size and length are properties of array object. So we will close this, and now you can see, as I told you, array.new 3 Gaurav. So either it is written array.new for Mac. So a hash operator inside the curly braces evaluates an expression, and it puts the expression in the console. So if you have any expression can be anything. Expression can be a variable. Uh, uh, Output expression can be a mathematical expression. It can be arithmetic expression. It can be a string or concatenation. So expressions can be anything, but you have to print the expressions. You have to print the expression expression inside the curly brace, and before the curly brace opening hash sign. So suppose if I want to print the object whose variable name is Gaurav, so I will use hash curly brace open Gaurav, and that will be the you can say uh, way of printing the array. So what will happen is the array classes two string function. The two string function will be called whenever I use this put. So now we will I have told you how to validate the expression. So suppose, yeah, so this was about expressions. So we will close this way. So here this is a range operator. So this operator is new, is not available in other programming languages. So what it will do is inclusive of the operands, it will create an array. So array, what will do is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up till 9, and from 0. So now, oh, sorry, we forgot to run that. We forgot to run the previous file. You can see Mac 44 in this file. We forgot this file. So it will Mac. This toString function is called in array, and the expression is evaluated. So now we will see then our next file. Sorry, I forgot it. Yeah, we are in the range. So in the range, the two dots are there and two operands are there. So what will happen is 0 to 9 inclusive. It will put us in the digits. So in the digits, it will put the array, and in the expression, the array expression will be evaluated. So let us see how it runs. You can see 0 to 9, the array has been created. This was the range operator. Now let us see what happens if I write 9 to 0. It will give me a error. Yeah. So there are no. So yeah, it's not even an error, but it is saying it's, yeah, it's saying it's an empty array. So now we'll go to array next one. So this is the pipe operator, is the iterator operator. So whenever you iterate over a array or any other collection, and you iterate it one at a time, this do and this is going to be used. So suppose I will run this file. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So by default, putS is inserting a new line character every time. So what is happening is, since Ruby is an indentation language, so indentations are very important in Ruby. Now see, this is a loop. So inside the block of loop, I have to write this indentation, and there are no semicolons required for running. Semicolons are optional, but like in JavaScript, semicolon is optional. In Ruby also, semicolon is optional. But the point is that array dot each is a loop, and do is the uh, declaration of the loop. So in the block of the loop, it should be indented by using tabs or spaces. So I have done the same thing. I have just created an array dot each. That I have done. So I will. See, this was I told you that you can create an array like this. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5. So 1 2 3 4 5 is coming. So for each loop, take the index value and put this index. So now, if I have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now I will save this, and now see it will print 5, 6. It has printed 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just remember this pipe operator. Pipe is there, which takes a operand called the iteration. So for each iteration, I put this in the new line. So begin and end. So begin, if you want to run some code at the start for the file, and at the ending of the script, you can write it. So what will happen is, before the script is started to run, the preprocessor of Ruby will scan for begin statements. So if it finds the begin statements, it will execute the block branch of the begin statement. Again, this indentation you can see there. This curly brace is after this block starts, so it's indented. So that's indentation is required. And in the comments you can see this is a comment. A comment is a hash sign. After that, whatever you write is a comment for that line. So this is, Ruby supports single line comments. And this begin class is searched, and this begin of this block of code is executed. Same for end. Before ending the script, it searches for end, and executes the block of the end, that is put as end block. So now I will just run this file, begin underscore end. You can see begin has come first, and main has come, and after main end has come. So first it searches for begin, so it got the begin. Next it searches for the script, it got the script. Then it searches for the end, so it got the end. So that is our begin and then main. So now switch statement. A switch statement is a statement which evaluates expressions and does a particular result on each condition. So it is a multi-conditional expression which produces different outputs on different inputs. So depending upon the case. Suppose in my score tab, so this is the range operator they are used. So 0 to 40. If its score is 0 to 40, then the output will be fail. So fail will be assigned to the result variable, which stores the result of the case statement. Again, you can see here there is indentation because it is a block of code. So case score is 70. So this will be printed pass with merit. So this is just the use of when and then. Suppose there are two ways to create switch statements. The one is this, and the other one is this. So this is there is no then. So what has happened is, inside suppose there is a dollar variable that is 5, and I want to check if the age is between 0 to 2 and 3 to 5 and 6 to 8, or else if it is doesn't come, there is an else condition. So this is one switch and this is the other switch. So first we will go to this switch. The score is 70 and the case is the keyword. Case that it will search for score in the conditions. So if the first condition it is not matching, so it will go to the second condition. So in the second condition it is not matching, then it goes to the third condition. Then third condition matches. So it just stores this pass with merit in result, this string, and else is for nothing is passed. So suppose if my score was 102, it would have been invalid score. So let us see first with the correct and then with the incorrect. So now we will go to our, let me clear the console. Ruby, inside that Ruby there will be case.rb. So it is written pass with merit. So as we see with 61 to 70 inclusive, it is returning pass with merit. But now suppose if I want to enter some invalid score like 102, so what will happen is I will just write this. It will say invalid score. So there are two conditions that else, and you don't forget the end block. So every case and every for loop will have an end block, end statement. The end statement is not indented. It is just end of the current block of indentation. So after that, put s is there. So put s. So just remember this. There are two ways to create space statement. The first is we have a case keyword, and then we have when then on same line. When then, and else is also on the same line with indentation, and the indentation is closed using the end keyword. But in this switch statement, there are no then. So since there is no then, it is indented for further. So this put test is indented because there is no then, and they are not in the same line. And else is and end is the end of the case statement. So this is you can say there is no result stored. The difference is it's this key statement assigns a result to the variable, but this switch statement doesn't you can say store the result in a variable. So that was about two switch statements, and you can see that the range operator you can have space also. It's not mandatory that you don't have space. You can use with space, you can use without space. So let's see now this will run. This is statement 2 has run, and this has no space. This space is optional. So now we will, after we were in, yeah, files. So file handling, there are multiple features, and just to create a new file you write file class which is built into Ruby dot new, so constructor will be called, then as a name property will be there, and in which mode to write. So the number of modes supported are modes for file handling supported are, first is R for read, second is W for write, third is append for appending, and fourth is execute for executing. These four modes are used in. So R stands for you can read the file, write stands for you can overwrite the file, append stands for you can add content at the end, and execute stands for how to run to run a file or open a directory. So this was our file constructor, file.new constructor. This constructor took two values, the mode, first mode, Value is the name of the file and second is node. Both are in strings. So chmod command can be I'm just adding a chmod command. Everybody knows what is chmod. So for the adding permissions to the file, you use chmod. A nice practice will be to always close a file. So you can close this file dot close. See, you will see what happens. We have Ruby chmod dot it is correct. So this was about files. Now we will have a object oriented state. So what is an object? Object is an instance of a abstract entity which contains properties and methods that operate on properties and relationships with other classes and uh, static class variables and all these. So for that you use the keyword class. Class is space class name and then the block of code again indentation will be there. So this is a method. Again end will be there because this is a block of code. And static method. How we define static methods? Static methods are one for all instances of a class. So suppose I have instance A1 and it has 10. So B1 also will have 10 because it is bound to the class and it's not bound to the instance. So accounts dot return date is a return date is a static method that is defined and reading charge is a non-static method. So what you have studied in this is how to create a class, how to end a class, how to create static methods, and how to create normal methods. So there is no colon, there is no semicolon, just indentation. So that is what a class is. So collects use lambda function. So again the pipe operator has come. So now we create a blank array B and egg array. So if I want to copy from A to B, I will just set A dot collect, and inside that collect, I will just use a lambda function that for every x associate means associate x into 10, so multiplied by 10. Now we will I forgot to run that class. Sorry. There is nothing much in that class, but yeah, it's run correctly. So now we will see collect item. So you can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 30. So it is multiplied by 10. So lambda expressions, what they do is they take uh, uh, the the item, so the next value in the iteration, and write a function that the new value that will be formed will be a function of the current value. So suppose I will instead of 10 I write x plus 20. So what will happen is it will print 21, 22, 23, 24. So now we can see it has printed 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So it just is a function. Like in maths, there are functions. This lambda expressions are also functions. And to the putest function method call will just call this method putest and it will output the b array using the b toString method. So that was about collections. One more thing is yeah, it's the same. So no, nothing different. So yeah, so that is suppose I have a variable debug is equal to 1. Then there is a if condition. So if debug is there, then print debug. So that is for the debug mode. Nothing much. So files, I again this how to delete the file. So file dot delete xtc. And now we can see what I will do is I will create a file directory test. So inside that I will create um, test2.txt and then let us see. There's nothing. It's not. Now I will create a new file text2.txt. Test2.txt. This file has been. I will run this command. Test2.txt will be deleted. So now you can see here this using ls command is del nahi, test2.txt. Yeah, I'm here. So you will find that if I run ruby del dot rb, it will disappear. It will not be there. You see this after test time is there. Test2 is gone. That is what is delete statement. So now after delete, so now we will just uh, go to some range values. So 2 underscore a is a function which converts any range into an array, and we can return an expression, and that expression we can write it footage. So now we learn this range.rb. We'll come back to this later. First we'll see the, so now you can see this logical operator is there, and so if initialize x to 1, so if x is greater than 2, x is greater than 2 will be outputted. See the else here, there is no e there. There is ELSIF like Python. So it's just if else if and space then x and space then greater than less than sign. So x is less than equal to and x is not equal. This is a not operator. It's not equal to 2, then you can say this is a comparison operator, logical operator. Logical operator are and or and XOR. So if x is less than equal to 2, so x is less than equal to 2. That's correct. So and x is not equal to x. So the output will be x is 1, because if this condition is satisfied then else is there. So now yeah, how to get input is simple. Use the getS command and then you can get the input. So how to read lines? How to read from a file? So I will create a file arr.rb, and this IO class will read the lines from this file. So now let me create. So now I will just copy this code. So ai.readlines arr.rb. So in my case I have suppose I have arr.rb. So now I will save this file as demo dot, sorry, I will save this file as, wait a minute, I will save it. ga.txt. So ga.txt. So now it will return the output. You see, this has printed two lines. The first one is, sorry, yeah, this also is correct, but I will show you using my txt file. So you can see the names is equal to array new name and put as names.size. So this is my file. So if I open this file, you can see these two lines. These two lines are printed. So that was about read lines. So now what is a I can say method. Method is a mechanism in which you can format your objects instances properties. So they are a way of modifying, creating, reading, and performing some business logic or any other logic to uh, you can say a class object. So they provide polymorphism, as you all know, inheritance, public access, private access, many things are the return statements. So now functions in Ruby are defined with the def keyword. So def space function name, and after that you just create variables using indentation. And return statement doesn't require indentation. This is written I comma j comma k. So now I will just run this code. I will clear the screen. So now Ruby, continuing from where we left off, we can create a array from a range function. So what you do is insert round brackets. You have to type the range, and it will convert it to array. So that array it will assign it to range one. So this is an expression. So this expression can be using curly braces with a hash sign. So let us see what is the output of the Ruby um, range dot RB. You can see here an array has been created. 2a means 2 array. Now suppose I am just experimenting 0 to 10. So what will happen is it will show nothing. So that is the range to array. So now how can you find the number of elements in a range? So there are two methods. One is min and second is max. So suppose from 0 to 9 the digits are there. So you want to check the minimum. So it will return the digits dot minimum. Let us first put as digits. So now I will run this file. You can see if you put as delete, it will show the range operator, and it includes five. So include is a question mark. So it tests whether the five number is present in the range or not. So here it is there. So it's true. The mean value is 0, max value is 9. So that's about range. Then we will go to file rename. Just it is a move function. So it moves from test1.txt to test2.txt. So let us first I will create a file test1.txt. Okay, I will just notepad. In that I will create a file column. Name of that file will be test1.txt. Now I will create a new file. Name of that file will be Shiror. and in that I will write test 2. So now I will run this rename. Now I will just run this rename ruby rename dot rb. So now we will see that the test one is been deleted. Um, yeah, this test one has been deleted and test 2 is there. So let us see the contents of the test 2. So it is Gaurav. So it has overridden the Shirokar. If you want to append it, then you have to create uh, can't really append it. You have to just copy this file from test1.txt to test2.txt. Now, what is the string class? String class is built into Ruby. So, to create a new string, the string.new string. String is basically a sequence of characters. So, it has many functions. Like one function is down case. So, it will let me run this file. Ruby str.rb. This is down case. So, it was upper case. So, it is gone to down case. So, this was about string function. Uh, yeah, so now we will go to the you can say heart of the programming language, that is loops. So now I will go to first for each loop. What it does it adds digits and loops to each digit of the array, and you can see here this is item in pipe, and the digit is this digit current at the digit of the current iteration. Suppose digits is equal to an array. Now what will happen is it will loop through all the array dot each function, and it will do digit. So it's a do loop, a do for loop. So it will do for each digit when the digit. So now I will let it for each dot. I will run this program for each dot rb. So you can see in loop 1 2 3 4. In loop 1 2 3 4, that is for each. So for in loops, so the for each loop worked on collections, but for each also is collection, but in a different manner. So for I iteration I value in 0 to 5, if uh, the first I will initialize this I is equal to 0. No, sorry. Yeah. For I in 0 to 5, if I is greater than 2, then break. So what will happen is it will just print the first 2, because if it goes beyond the limit of 2, so you can see 0 1 2. Only is printing 0 1 2. So that was it. So what is hash? Like Python's dictionaries, hash is a hash function which converts an input text into a output text, and it is impossible to create the input text from the output text. So suppose I have Gaurav and my hash is 1234 FC8D9, but that hash, what I told you, should not be backward compatible. So you should not be able to create the text that Gaurav hello world to 123 19. So suppose my hash code is 19945F9. So I will just type it down. So this is my hash code. So what will happen is this hash code is of hello world. So the condition is you should not be able to get hello world from this. I will give you the hash, but you should not be able to get the hello world of this. So what they do is they use the hash function at the server, compute the hash of hello world, and if both the hashes of the client and the server match, then it is not tampered with. See, suppose I will just the property is the hash function the server computes the hash, it gets the hello world. So it computes the hash of the hello world, and if both the hashes match, so if both the hashes match, since the attacker doesn't know the hash function, he will not be able to uh, de- to uh, convert that hello world inside into hash. So if both the hashes of the client and the server match, then it is not tampered with. So no one has tampered with the function. So hash function has a properties that it maps a string to another string in such a way that if even if I give you that string, you will not be able to compute the hash because hash function is secretly used. So there is one property, and the second property is no two different strings should compute the same hash. So suppose I have a hello world and I have a good morning. So whatever the hash of hello world should not be equal to the hash of good morning. So that is for obvious reasons. So that is what is a hash function. So to hash class is there. Inside that hash class, there is the associative array. So you can see here A has become 100 and B 200. So hash is the stored in H. The hash of A and hash of B are uh, output. So now we'll just run this program. So it has come 100 and